Okay, hello guys. Good evening and welcome to day 2 of No Code Africa training for cohort 3. Right. So welcome guys. It's good to have you here. Um, we are going to give some time for other people to join the class. It's going to be a short class. I hope. Okay. Don't blame me if at all it doesn't end up being a short class. Okay. So, but um, this particular class will be more like a repetition of something that you must have already learned, but maybe you have some issues, right? So maybe you have some issues understanding it. I had already shared the links to the what we're about learning, right? So I shared a recorded link on the group to what we're about learning, and I have gotten some information from some students that they have issues understanding how it worked. So that's the reason for this live class. Otherwise, we would have just been sending you recorded classes. And I think after today, we will have, yes, by tomorrow we'll start having laboratories. Yeah, so laboratories is where you can ask questions and share your screen, and you will get assistance from the tutors. I will be available most of the laboratories, but the tutors will be mostly available for the laboratories. They will help you with hands-on support during the lab. Okay, so uh, welcome Joy, welcome Swinson, welcome all recipes. Okay, so basically I'm just calling you with the name that I'm seeing here. Welcome Success, Oluwatobi, welcome. Confidence, welcome. Chidera, welcome. Precious, welcome. Mr. Bani, welcome. Eduzie, welcome. Crispin, welcome. Uh, Taiwo, welcome. Okay, so I tried to pronounce the name that I'm familiar with. Yeah, sorry. In case I'm calling your surname, please don't pick offense. I might be finding your surname easier to pronounce than the first name. Okay. Okay, yeah, Crispin is asking whether we're all doing okay. For me, I'm doing fine. I'm always like super excited to teach and to provide support here. Oji, welcome. Esitime, welcome. Okay. Desire, welcome. All right, guys, welcome to today's class, and let's try to see how we can maintain the tempo. Yeah, just remember you don't have to slack behind, right? Let me try to send a broadcast message to everyone so that everyone will be on the same page. Yeah. Okay. And meanwhile, well done for showing up again today for the class. Yeah, so I'm sending out. Okay. So we have one tutor in the studio. Joy, welcome. I can see you. Welcome. Okay, so where did I stop? Juliet, welcome. Sapi, welcome. Okay, I think I had greeted Taiwo. Okay, this is another Taiwo, so I will try to pronounce this one. Omolola, welcome. Yeah. So all right, good to have you guys. We are going to start like right now because it's already 5 minutes into the time, 6 minutes actually. Well, 5 minutes on the clock here. Yeah. So we're going to start. What are we going to be doing today? We're going to be creating something called, we'll be trying to implement login, logout functionality within FlutterFlow, right? So the basic feature in every mobile application or even a website is the login, logout functionality, right? So we will try to see how we can create that. In the process of creating that, you will get exposed to Firebase, which is what we use for storage and storage. So you get exposed to Firebase. You'll get exposed to maybe we will do a little query. Yeah, we'll get to do backend query, just a little, because I don't intend to make this excessively tedious or deep. Yeah, I just wanted to make it like super easy for everyone to like participate fully. All right. So congratulations for making it to day two. Yeah, because I know that some persons might start finding it difficult. I need to first of all give you an upfront idea about no code. It is not too simple, right? So I wouldn't like you to be disappointed when you start learning no code and then discovered, oh, it's so hard. I was running away from coding and then now this is it. This one is too hard. Okay, so um, I'm telling you upfront that it's not super easy, but it is doable and you will enjoy it as you keep trying, right? Yes, you enjoy it as you keep trying. So the idea is to keep trying at least, okay? All right, so let's kick off, but let me just greet again. I like to greet. Yeah, it's a culture in Nigeria. Sage Health, welcome. Okay, Hyacinth, welcome. I don't really know how to pronounce that name. D, welcome. I'll just call it D. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Cookson, welcome. Charles, welcome. Luna, welcome. Yeah, good to have you guys here. And Chris, welcome. Okay, so let's begin now. So I'm gonna present my screen. Like I'm gonna share my screen. Success said we're hitting the road running. Basically, it's ground. Hit the ground running. Yeah. So good one. Well done. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen right now so we can kickstart our journey for today. Okay, guys, this is FlutterFlow, and FlutterFlow helps us to build application faster than ever, right? And that's like the focus of our of this cohort. We will be focusing purely on FlutterFlow. In subsequent cohorts, we will talk about Webflow. We will talk about Bubble, Adalo. Yeah. So, but for this particular cohort, we will just be focusing on FlutterFlow. And it's actually good for you to just know one very well than to just go around knowing a lot. I happen to know most of these things because I was super curious and I had time on my hands to learn as much as I could. And so, but it's not really efficient for you to just know as much as you need to. I'm also a teacher, so teachers have to know a lot of these things, right? So, but what I purely use to work on application for my clients is FlutterFlow, all right? Okay, so let's kickstart. This is FlutterFlow, and if you don't have a FlutterFlow account, you can refer to the group. I had already dropped a link for you to click and create an account. I believe that most of you have already created an account, and you need to have an account because after this particular class, your assignment is actually to redo what I'm about doing. So please just pay attention. You don't necessarily need to try to redo what I have done or what I am doing in real time, but if you can multitask, listening and doing, then sure, why not? But the idea is after this class, you will have to redo what I am about doing. It's going to be quite simple. We will be using mostly templates, and then I mean templates for the UI. Yeah, then we will just try to implement the backend. It's not so difficult. Okay, so let us see what to do. So here we'll click here to create a new project, and we will call it. Okay, so we had a very unique name for this kind of application last cohort, but I will just make it excessively unique again. Login, let's call it, let's add extra three O's. Yeah, login. Right. So the idea is it's basically going to be a login application, not like a login application, but a mobile application that allows you to just create an account and sign in and sign out. Yeah, with that, the way we learn FlutterFlow is we try not to talk too much about the features. We just use it. Yeah, we do project-based learning. And that's basically how you're going to learn. So we do. We don't talk. We just do. Right. So here I'll click on create blank. After you've put the name of the project, I would like to recap as much as I can, just so that I can make sure that you understand. Go to your FlutterFlow.io. You've already logged in, so you see this particular screen. Click on create new, and then put the name of the project. Click on create blank, and wait for a couple of seconds. Then here it is. Don't touch anything here. If you don't want to, you can touch if you want. But click on next step. You need to provide the Firebase project ID. How do you get the Firebase project ID? Now, or what is even the Firebase project ID? Firebase project ID is basically like the main thing that connects FlutterFlow with Firebase. So we store information that has to do with our application in Firebase. That's what we use, and that simply means that we need to find a way to connect them, right? So, and the way applications work on the web is that for applications to be able to connect with themselves, they have to use something called APIs. All right. So then most times these APIs require some form of ID, and that's basically what is happening right now. So we need to provide an API, otherwise we won't be able to build or continue properly. Well, we can click on start building, but we will still need to do this if at all we want to use the Firebase project. So let's go to Firebase. All right. So this is Firebase. You just come to firebase.google.com. All right. As far as you have a Gmail account, you automatically have access to Firebase, right? So it's just firebase.google.com, and then you have access to it. What you need to do now is just click on the go to console here. So this is it. Click on go to console, and then wait for a couple of seconds. You see some of the projects that you have. All right. So these are some of the projects that I have. All right. So this is what we are currently building, which I will demo and show you guys some things. It's not complete yet, but I will just show you how it works. Okay, so or maybe not. Okay, so this is it. I'll click here to add a new project. So we want to create a new project so that we can copy the project ID. So I'll click here to add a project, and then I will give the project a name. I had already copied the project name in the other side when I was creating the project in FlutterFlow, so I just pasted it here. Well, you can still call it something different, but I just want it to be unique across. So login, yeah. So this is also going to be the project title for your stuff, like for your assignments, because you will be able to submit your assignment to today or tomorrow, whenever. Like the deadline is basically tomorrow by 12 p.m. 12 p.m. GMT +1, right? So I'll click on continue. I will turn off the Google Analytics because it's going to be a waste of resources. We don't really want to track Google the analytics for this app because it's a test application. We're just using it to understand how to build with FlutterFlow. So I'll click on create project, and I'll click on create project and wait for a couple of seconds, and it will completely provision the resources required for our project, our Firebase project, to run ideally. So we'll just wait for a couple of seconds. It depends on your internet, your system speed. I think the internet I'm using right now, it's not super fast right now because I'm not using my main internet, but it's okay. We will be fine. All right, so that's it. I have access to Firebase now. And what I need to do now is I need to go ahead and then click this big icon. All right. Now that I just talked about big icon, I want you to help me punch the like icon on your screen. That's the to like this tutorial. Okay. So please just punch it on the face for me, and also punch the subscribe button for me as well. Please. This is one of the ways that you support what we're doing here. So just punch both of them on the face. Since you have two hands, you can just punch both simultaneously for me. Thank you. I know it was funny, like the way I said it, but please try to really do it for sure. Thank you very much. So click on the big icon here, and then click on project settings. And then when you do that, you will have access to the details of your projects. There's project ID, project number, default GCP resource location, all of that here. But what really matters, like what we want to really copy here, is these project ID, all right? So we will just go ahead and copy this project ID, and then we will take it to FlutterFlow and paste it. Well, we are going to run into some errors, but I want you to see the error so that you know how to fix it. So I'll click on connect here, but Firebase will tell me, look at what it says. FlutterFlow does not have access to this Firebase account. Please add Firebase at flutterflow.io as an editor to this project. Right, that's the error. The reason is because, well, we copied the project ID, But now we have not told this Firebase, right? This project ID is more like helping us connect to Firebase, right? Okay, so helping us connect our FlutterFlow projects to Firebase. But what will show that we are trying to connect to FlutterFlow? Well, that's basically why we had the error. So you have to come here to users and permissions, and then click on add member, and then just type FlutterFlow. Is it FlutterFlow or Firebase? It's gonna be Firebase. Firebase and FlutterFlow.io. Okay, so you just put it like this, Firebase at FlutterFlow.io. Make sure the spelling is correct, else you run into another error. So then change the roles to editor, just like they said, and then click on add member. And then after you've done this, all you just need to do is go back to FlutterFlow and click on connect again, and voila, it works. So it's connected, things start showing out more brightly, and you can click on auto generate config files. You must click on auto generate config files. Now the reason is because there's some small tiny piece of files that is needed by your FlutterFlow project to be able to run successfully. So if you don't auto-generate these configuration files, you're going to run into some problems, and you'll be like seeing some errors, and you'll be wondering what is going on here. When the teacher was doing the tutorial, he didn't run into these errors. Well, the reason why I don't run into those errors is because I have to generate my config files. Okay, so away from that, now that has been done, it tells you Firebase setup complete. What you need to now do is click on enable authentication. Now, usually when you click on enable authentication, it is supposed to turn on immediately, but I discovered that recently FlutterFlow doesn't turn on this button immediately. All right, but it's going to still work. You can just click it and leave it. It's going to still work. Then this part that says create user collection, turn it on as well. Well, this one always turns on. But the only time this one turns on from my recent observation is when you set the initial pages, which is the entry page, the logged in page, right? So the entry page is the page that your user will see before they log into the application. All right, so and then the logged in page is what they see after they have logged into. So this could be like a dashboard, this could be like a splash screen or a login page. So preferably, let's use a login page. So I'll click here. And then I would have chosen blank if I told I didn't want to use a template, but I don't want us to go ahead and have this tutorial going so very long. Yeah, we will have other classes for front-end designs, like UI designs within, by UI I mean user interface, right? So we will have a class on how to create those UI designs within FlutterFlow. But for now, we will just go ahead and then look for a template to use. So I will come to authentication. AUTH is short form for authentication. So wow, this is cool. FlutterFlow has added some new templates. Nice. I haven't seen this one before. Cool. Okay, so I think the one we will use is the one that you have seen in your tutorials, like the tutorials that I shared. So let's just stick to that, right? I do like new things, but let's just stick to the old one. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll change the name. Usually it was always empty and you have to put a name to it, but now they put a name already, so it's okay. So we would just say login, right? So this particular page is going to be called login page. I'll click on create page. And then now I will click on the logged in page, like what should they see when the login. So let's go to, let's say settings, right? Under settings, we will see some templates that we can use. So I do like this one, right? I do like this one. So, or can I get something else? Let's see if I can get something else. I need something way simpler. This works. And that's the one we used to use. Okay, so, but I need something else. Something way simpler. Okay. I think I will use this one. It looks really simple. So I will say home. All right, let's call it home. All right, so this is like they've logged in and so they go home. So they go to home. All right, so now this icon now is not enabled, So you can now go ahead and click on start building. Let's push this a little bit faster, shall we? All right, so this is a basic template. It's from FlutterFlow, like basic starter templates for you to build your applications, right? So what we need to do is I won't show you how to go ahead and then do a lot of things, right? So, but the way you see things running around, these are widgets, right? So let me go. I clicked on this. Let's go to the widget tree. So I click on this and then slide this up a bit. You will see some basic things. So I will show you. This particular one is like the entire scaffold, right? So scaffold is like the what you build the application on top of, not like the application, what you build this particular screen on top of, just like the real scaffold that you have to build skyscrapers with scaffold, like something like that. So it's more like a foundation. So this is it, and then we have another container. This one is the outer thing, right? I will show you all of these later, like how all of these things can really work. But for now, we will. This is weird. It's actually supposed to show correctly, but I don't know. All right, so yeah, some things are really changing. Okay, so let's just delete some of these things. Now, look at this. We have like lots of errors, project issues, lots of them. So we need to delete some things to take off some errors. We won't be signing up with, these social accounts. So we delete this and I will take this off. I won't also implement forget password yet. This is just for login, logout. And then I'll click on here because there's a button here. I just know that there's a button there. It's just I don't know why it doesn't show here. Okay, so I'll click here and delete this, and then take this off as well. Take this off. I'm just selecting the widgets and clicking delete. All right, that's what I did. So I just select them. Like if I want to delete this, I could just click on it first and delete, right? But I don't want to delete that, so I can just say Control Z. Now the issues has reduced a bit. So the next thing I need to do is look at some of the issues. Animation action is slide mode. Slide mode has an animation action, but the animation has not been set. This is not good. Okay, this is for this other part. Okay, no problem. So I don't need this. Let's take off this. This is for the other screen, the home screen, right? So let's take off this. It's one of the things that is causing trouble. So I'll just take it off. Take this off as well. I don't really need all of this change password scenario. I just wanted us to create a login logout functionality for basic class, right? I don't want to make you to excessively learn too much, right? Yeah, because I don't want you to get like drained. So let's increase this width too. So this width, the button is too small. Okay, so I click on it. Let's just increase the width to say 360, right? So that's okay. This is the size of the button for logout. This is authenticated user, the picture. Okay, so I don't even need this picture, right? Yeah, so take this picture out as well. Okay, so this is it. I want it to be as simple as possible. So container, row, okay, and then this. All right, so this is it. Let's just take off this account something. Take this off. Yeah. All right, so I just wanted us to have like just the basic scenario. All right, so we can even take this off for real. That's it. And instead of calling it profile, let's call it home. All right, so I just changed this to home. Yeah, I wanted it to be as simple as possible, just to log in and log out. Like create an account and log in and log out, right? So we have this scenario right now. It deleted most of those things and the errors has dropped, okay? So just make sure you just do it like I did. So I will click here and delete this. And now there is a space here. I will come here. For you to put an element like a widget, you have to click on this particular icon here that says add a child to this widget. So I will click on it and then I will add a text. I will come here to this particular section of the screen to edit the text. So this is going to be login. Yeah, so that's it. And then of course it's black and it's small. I don't like it that way. I want it to be bigger, right? So I'll come here to font weight and make it extra bold. Then font size, I'll say 36. Yo, nice. I'll come here to text color and change it to, let's say white. All right, so see it there. This is exactly what I want you to also do. Then we have two errors that is left here, and that's because of the widget configuration. Max lines must be one for password, one for password fields. So look at this. So if I come here, I have to click on this, then come here to max line and just put one. You have to do that it to take off that error. So I'll click here and then click on the password, put this. Now the thing is, this is just a condition that for your password, it has to contain at least one element. Yes. Okay, so is it at least or at most? I think so. Okay, so now we are good. We don't have any errors again. The reason why we don't have to have errors is because if we have errors, we won't be able to run our application. Okay, so I believe you're following. After we're done with this, I will take some questions and then we will close the class. We're very close to finishing. So, okay, so let's see. Edit label style. I'm wondering why unselected color. Okay, so I think this is the problem. This is a problem. So selected color white, unselected color. Okay, so let's just change that. You see, there's sign in here, and there's this one doesn't show. The reason is because of this unselected thing here. So let's give it a color. All right, so that's it. So now we are good. So we can switch. Yeah. So, and then let's do something else. Let's see. There's something that I need. Tap bar style. So let's say indicator. Yes, that's it. So I needed to have this line under it just so that I can know which one I am on. Okay, great. Don't worry, with time I will show you how to create this without having to like edit it, like copy user template. So now we have this. The next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and set things up. So first of all, let's go to the Firestore inside FlutterFlow. So let's click here first and look at it. So by the mere fact that we said we want to conduct authentication, it automatically has a database, like a collection, right? So this is more like collection. So you see here, before I continue talking about that, let's come to build first and click on authentication. This is on Firebase now. So I click on authentication, right? I have to turn on authentication. All right, so I click on get started and then I will turn on authentication by clicking on the email password. This is how I want to be able to sign into the application. I click on save and that's it. I have turned on authentication, nothing else to do. Come here to build again and then go to Firestore database. All right, we have to turn on Firestore database and turn on storage. These are the two things. So we click on create database. This is where we store information inside. Like the information that we are going to be using in our application, they will all be stored inside here. So I'll start in test mode because we have some security rules we will need to set up if at all we are starting in production mode. That would take some time. But meanwhile, if you're starting in test mode in 30 days, you'll be asked to update it or your application will no longer work. So don't worry, we'll talk about that as well. So I'll click on enable and wait for a while, and Firebase will provision this Cloud Firestore, and we will be on our way to the next level. Who wants to go to the next level with this app? I'm raising my hands. Imaginary hands, actually. Okay, actually, I'm raising my hands, but it's not very high up. Okay, so what happened? It has actually created, but it should show properly. So I will just reload. It's supposed to have shown properly, yeah. So it didn't show, so I just reloaded. Okay, so sometimes these things might not automatically reload. Well, yeah. So just always try to see how you can think your way around it. I just had to reload. Okay, so that's fine. Let's come here again and turn on the storage and punch this big button in the face, start in test mode, and next, and next. So those are the basic things that you just need to do. Authentication, if at all users are going to sign in your application, create an account, Firestore database, the store, and then storage, right? So the Firestore and storage, they work simultaneously. You have to turn both of them on, but you have to do one before the other. So Firestore first before storage. Okay, I hope you're taking note. Firestore first before storage. Firestore first before storage. Okay, because at the early stage of my career with this, I used to make the mistake of turning on the story before Firestore, and you can't reverse it. Yeah. So meanwhile, Firebase is free to use for some time, right? Yes, so it's gonna be okay for you to use it and learn how to build with FlutterFlow. So now that we've done this, all we just need to do is come back here, go back to the widget tree, and see our application. Now we need to go ahead and start something. Let's create something. Let's make things start working, because right now, nothing can really happen. Like, users can't create an account. They cannot sign up. They can't use this application, right? So things are not working yet. It's just like a design, right? So let's add some skin to it, like a spirit. Well, engineering calls it backend, so let's call it backend too. So let's come here, and then now what do we do? Let's start with sign up first. We want to create an account, so let's start with sign up, because that's basically what happens. The user signs up first before maybe sometime the sign in, maybe after they've been logged out or they had locked themselves out of the system. Okay, so we click on sign in, and we need to go ahead and then do some things. So how do you do some things? So basically, the user always has to type in an email here and type in a password and click on create account. So everything that you need to do in this step now has to do with the action for this button. What happens when the user clicks on this create account? What happened, or what should happen? That's what we want to do. So we want to add an action to this create account button. And how do you add an action? So here we have different things, right? So we have this part here that shows properties of the icon. This part shows actions. This part shows backend query. And then this has to do with animation. And then this has to documentation and semantic labels. All right, so let's go ahead and then come to action. So we click here to add an action. Funny enough, since this was a template, the action was already created for us. All right, it was already created. So look at what happened. It says auto create, and then the authentication provider is the email, email address you can create, password, and then created document, these, and well, you don't necessarily need to set the fields. That's basically it, right? So, but now the thing is the reason why we have these is because it's a template. If I told it's not a template, you wouldn't have it. So let's just delete it and start it afresh. So let's click here and then delete this action that was created. We will have, like, it's blank now because this is how it's supposed to be when you want to create here. So let's click on add an action, right? And then how did they go about it? So what they did was they went to something called Firebase authentication. So you see here Firebase authentication, and you want to create an account. So you click on create an account. So it says auto create account. So what is the authentication provider? Email. So you put your email. What email field are you going to use? All right, to create this account. So we click on it, and then we select this email field. How did you know that this is an email field? Let me show you something. This is the text field. This thing here that will allow the users to type in their email and their password is called a text field. It's a widget in FlutterFlow, right? But now it knows that it's a field, right? It's a field for email because of what? If you scroll down here, you will see a property. Where is it? Okay, not there. Right, so it actually says here text, but it's okay. Basically what happened is that it was initially just text field like the name, but you could rename it by clicking on here to rename it. So that's why it's like that. Then for this particular one, when you scroll down, you will see a place that tells you to choose whether it is a password field or not. So this is it, a password field. So when you're creating it, normally you will need to always turn this particular button on for your text field that is a password. The reason is because if it is a text field that is a password, you will need to do indicate the toggle hide password, this thing here. You have to put the icon size and put the icon color for it to show. All right, away from that, let's come back here and then come to email field and put an email address. No, email address create. So we're going to choose email address create. which is this one. And then for this particular password fields, we say password create, this one. And that's it. So we're done with that. Now that we are done with that, we can add something extra. I like to add it. So I'll click on, okay, I was too fast there. I'll click on open the action flow editor. All right, then I will click on this small add icon here. This is the first thing that we have done. So we can add the next thing, which is add action here. And we will go ahead and say snack bar. I wanted to just show something like when it is logged in, I wanted to show something before it takes you to the dashboard. So show snack bar and say account created successfully. Accounts, maybe account creation successfully. I don't know if that's a very good grammar. Account creation success. Account creation success. Okay, yeah, that sounds correct. Account creation success. Okay, so you can put anything else you want, but it's okay for me. All right, so it's a snack bar. Snack bar is just some form of thing that will pop up from the bottom of your screen that shows, account creation success. Account created, guys. I have a mixed feeling about it. Account created successfully. Okay, this is it. This one hits properly. Yeah, I think this is it. Account created successfully. Yeah, with an exclamation mark. This is good now. So so that's it. So when the user clicks on this, it locks the user. It creates an account for the user, and then says account created successfully. Then we need to take the user to somewhere when the account has been created successfully, right? So let's click here again and say add action. We're going to say navigate to. So navigate to what? To home. So that's the end of that particular action flow. So create account, show me something that tells me that, okay, account has been created successfully, then navigate me to the home. That's it. All right. So we're good like that. Let's come to sign in. All right. We don't have so much time again, but we're almost done actually. So let's come into sign in part. The sign in part here is quite simple. We will just also give an action to the sign in button here. Well, I think it was already added, so we will just delete it and start it from scratch. Great. So what we will just do is click here to sign in. So we'll click this button and come here to action and click on add action and say Firebase authentication login. You see it? And then it asks you what's the authentication provider. It's email. Okay. And then I really hope you guys have been hearing me, because that would be really painful if I told you you've not been hearing me. Okay, so but I would like to just continue by faith. All right, so I'll click on the email address here for the email field, and then click on the password part here for the password field. That's it, guys. We're done, but we need to do one more thing. So let's click in here and take and maybe add a snack bar. Yes, so let's add a snack bar. Why not? Snack bar, and then we say login successful. This one is easier. Login successful. I don't know. Is it a double L or a single L? Okay, so that's it. Then we need to do something else. We need to go ahead and add another action that navigates the user to home. All right. So when you log a user in, they should be taken somewhere, right? So that's it. So we create that. Guys, we're done with the logino application, right? So that's it. I believe that you'll be able to redo this. We're not done, sorry, actually. We just have one little thing to do. So look at this, right? So this is the second page. This is where they get to, right? So let's just finish everything at once. Then from there we test it and then we see. So let's go ahead and let's come here to home. All right. This is home. We don't need to do anything about this. This is the email of the user, right? But this is static. We don't want it to be static. We want it to be the email of the user that has actually logged into this application, right? So what I will just do is I'll click on the container that contains these particular widget, just the environment, right? So this saying that says your environment affects your growth. So that's the truth here. So we need to affect the environment by querying the environment, and then from there we can now change what is inside. So let's query the environment that this widget is. So I'll click on here and add a backend query. And here, this onset, I'll click on it and say, yes, I want it to be a query collection. I just want to query a collection. What collection do I want to query? Well, the only one that is available is users. And of course, that's the collection I want to query. Do I want to query a single document or a list of documents? Well, in this case, I just want one document. So I will go ahead and then say, query the document. And then I will go ahead and say, what do I say? Let's click on confirm, and that's it. Now the next thing we need to do, now we've queried this environment. That means we can now influence who is in this environment, what is in this environment. And in this case, the widget is in this environment. So I'll click on the widget, and there's a small, tiny orange, brownish, I don't really know the real color for it, but this icon here, all right, so this is it. I'll just click on it, and I will go to users document and pick the display name. So it is it name? No, I'll pick the email because it's the email that we're talking about. Pick the email, right? So that's it. So now at first it was just a dummy figure, like a specific email, but now it's a variable, right? So we pick that. You just see here it appears like this. And let's do one more thing. Make this button such that when the user clicks on it, it should log the user out. Okay, so I'll click on this and then click on action. It was already done, but I will just delete it and remove it and click on add action. Go to Firebase authentication and I'll see logout. That's it. When it logs out, it will automatically take me back to this first screen, right? So that's it. But if at all you don't want it to go back to that screen, you can always add an action and tell it where to go when the user logs out by just clicking on open here and adding another flow to your actions. So at this moment, we are done. Like we are done with our application. Let's go ahead and run it. How do we run it? Meanwhile, if you want to download the application as an APK and run it on your phone, you can do that, but not on your free account. I don't think you can do that on the free account. But if at all you subscribe, you get a paid account, all right, you can click on here and then you see download APK, right? So that's like it. And then of course you can always download the code, connect the GitHub repository, and even view the code. Okay, great. That's one of the beautiful things about FlutterFlow. So let's go ahead and run the application. So I click on the small icon here and click on run because it's faster that way and things will move a bit smoothly. This might take like 2 to 4 minutes. So I wouldn't want us to wait that long. So I will just stop sharing and then just talk with you and check out the questions that you have. Then when it is done running, I will come back and then we can just look at it and test it and see how it works. So I'll stop sharing and see how we're doing. Okay. Oh, all right. We can hear, at least I can hear you. Okay, great. So I am very happy that I didn't come back here and see that it's just 0%. I was thinking that I wasn't being heard because I saw my phone beeped. Looked like someone wanted to call. Okay, so someone said, are we supposed, let's see the questions that we have. Okay, so let's start from where? Okay, Abandon said, thanks for yesterday. Thank you very much. Hi, Sinta, I'm not running. It's just a funny thing to say. This is not going to be an easy journey. Oh, of course it is not. Who said it was going to be easy? It's going to be hard and it's going to test your patience, all right? And your zeal and your hunger level. So make sure that you're fueled for this journey. It's not always easy, right? Yeah, but it's going to be good. Someone is saying my voice is low. Are you serious? I'm using a microphone. I didn't see this on time. Why would my voice be low? The volume is currently at the highest volume. Maybe you have to increase your own volume. Please, will we get the recording as most of us at work? Yes. You have to This will be recorded so you can rewatch it and then practice. You're not supposed to create an account for Firebase. You already have it. So if you have a Gmail account, you already have a Firebase account. But if at all you don't have a Gmail account, you need to create a Gmail account. And when you create a Gmail account, just go to firebase.google.com and that's it. Click to go to console. Thank you very much. Gaspar, welcome. And okay, so I'll just say some hellos. Joy, welcome. Babaladi, welcome. Mariam, welcome. Nelson, welcome. Jacinta, welcome. Bolus, yeah, I know Bolus. Bolus was in cohort 2. Okay, so the information collected from the login page will also be stored in the Cloud Firestore. Yes, but the only thing that you are allowed to see, I will also show you guys. The only thing that you're allowed to see, don't worry, security is being handled by Firestore. You are not allowed to see the password. So no one gets to see the password of the users. Yeah, so that has already been encrypted and saved away. So yeah, I know that look. Okay, trust, welcome. All right, so great. Is there any other question? Yeah, Afam, please, you can drop your questions. Brightech, you can join, you can rewatch. Okay. Olamife, welcome. Okay, so yeah, Omics Logic, thank you too. Thank you very much. Welcome. So the application has finished running. I just wanted to check out the questions. Someone is asking a question here. If we download the code of an app in FlutterFlow, which programming language do we get it as? You get it as Dart. Yeah, the same programming language that that Flutter runs on. You know, Flutter, the programming, the should I say framework? FlutterFlow is a framework for building cross-platform applications for mobile, for Android, iOS, and the web. Yeah, so and it runs on the programming language called Dart, right? So if you download the codes, you get the programming language that you get is Dart, right? So even the custom codes that we will write eventually, like small tiny bits of codes, will be Dart. Okay, great. All right, let's take a look at what has been done, like the application that we created, so that we can close the class. So yes, I am happy that today the class will actually end within 1 hour. Yeah, so please, you can just drop the questions that you have. So it actually finished in 4 minutes. I saw when it finished, but I needed to just finish looking at all the questions. So you see, this is very beautiful. Super beautiful, super beautiful. I feel like, oh, okay, I used to play too much. Let's go ahead and create an account. Let me create an account. Let's say Nocode Africa HQ. Right. This is it. Let me just copy it so that I can use it and log in when I am done. Okay, good stuff. So you can actually get to take a look at my password. Good stuff. So this is it. This stuff works because if you didn't turn this text field, like if you didn't turn it on and say that, oh, this is a password, you wouldn't be able to get this cool feature that allows you to hide the password. So now we will click on create account. We click on create account. It loads, and then it is going to show us something here. All right, account created successfully. You see, this is the snack bar thing. All right, and then now you see the email of the user. This is it. This is the email. This is the email I created an account with, and then I can click on logout. So I click to logout, it brings me back here. Now let's go to Firebase. Let me just quickly reload this so that I will show you what Firebase provides. You wouldn't see the password, you wouldn't see anything else apart from the user ID. You see the email, and you see the created time. This is the only thing that Firebase allows you to see. You can't see anything else. So it's one of the coolest storage that you can actually get to use. Cool stuff, yeah? Okay. And then of course, if you see, you didn't need to create a collection on Firebase for users because it automatically gets created. But subsequently, for other things, you need to click to create your collections. I will show you guys in subsequent classes. And we will be good. So here I want to sign in, so I will just paste their email and put a random password and say sign in. It tells me the password is invalid or the user does not have a password. You see, it even does validation, basic validation for me. So I can go ahead. I can't remember, was it? Okay, I think I used up to this point, and that's it. Login successful. My snack bar shows up again, and then everything works out fine in logout. So you can always even add a feature for your user when they click on logout. In case they clicked on the button mistakenly, you can always ask them, "Are you sure you want to log out?" Yeah, something like that. But we wouldn't do that here. Okay, so I think, guys, we're done, and I think that is the end for today's class. I believe that you've been able to learn a lot, and the assignment is just to recreate the Logino application, and I will provide the link to our link for submission, right? So that's it. Okay. Okay, so also, if we have a paid account and we deploy an app, if we downgrade to a free account after deploying an app, will it affect the deployed app? No, it will not. When you deploy an application, you're pushing a particular file to App Store, right? So you're pushing the app store, the application to App Store. I hope that that's what you're talking about here by deploying an app. So if you deploy the app, let's say to App Store, you're going to end up paying, I think, $99 for it to be there. So that particular version of the application stays there, whether you've downgraded or upgraded, that particular version is there, right? So the same thing with Play Store. And then also, if at all you had already downloaded, like you created your application and downloaded the app, right? The app will continue running the way it is. Yeah. Okay. But you won't be able to push new features to it. That's like the idea. Okay, so how do we learn Dart's programming language? You don't need to learn Dart's programming language in a no-code class. Yeah, we're not learning programming language here. So, but if you want to learn that, you can go to, let me see, Dart. I think it should be dart.dev. Yes, so you can go to dart.dev. All right, so dart.dev. You can read the documentation there. Okay, but this is a no-code class. And then I have Gmail account, but I have been able to log into Firebase. I don't understand. Are you saying you have been unable to log into Firebase? You can only log into Firebase by going to firebase.google.com, and you see a particular button. Just rewatch this video again. You see a button that says "Go to Console." All right. So, like, cause it stopped working until, like, cause it's, yeah, I understand. No, I think FlutterFlow is quite different, right? Very, very different from Adalo. Okay, Molala, thank you very much. All right, guys. So without wasting so much time, we're done with today's class, and I'm glad we did it within 1 hour. So try to see how you can do your assignment. I will drop the link to submit the assignment, either a link or I will just drop the link to Nala. Nala is No Code Africa Learning Application. So with the application, you can submit your assignments, but we are still testing it. As soon as we're done, we will send it in. But if at all we don't finish up today, then we will just drop a spreadsheet for you to use in submitting the assignment. But preferably, you will submit it in the app. Let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, SDMA. Try to see how you can fix your internet. Sorry. Okay, Flutter and FlutterFlow. Okay, so the difference, it's Flutter is a framework, right? So it's a framework that you use in building mobile application, web application. That's for Android and iOS, and of course the web, right? And it runs on a programming language called Dart. So you have to like write codes to build an application in the Flutter framework. but Flutter itself is built on top of the Flutter framework using the Flutter programming language. They're doing all the dirty work for you. Not dirty work. I mean, like FlutterFlow is doing all the works you're supposed to do. Dirty work there was figurative. I believe you understand. So they're doing all the works that you're supposed to do for your as a developer. For instance, you're supposed to like write codes to show your scaffold, to show your widgets and all of that. I've had my hands on Flutter and Darts before. Like I still write codes, right? But I find no code like way interesting. And of course, even if you're a developer, you can always just build with FlutterFlow, and then download the codes and rework in Flutter. That makes it easier for you, right? So I believe that I've been able to answer your question. So Flutter is, you can use it to build Android and iOS applications, but you have to write codes. You have to program. But FlutterFlow allows you to build Android and iOS application and web applications, but you don't have to write codes. Big difference. Okay. Unable to, I will walk through this video again and try to log in again. All right, so please try to walk through it and see how you can log in. Thank you very much, everyone. And you can try to rewatch this video to catch up fully. And we'll see you again in the class for tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll have a laboratory so that in case you have run into some problems, I will be there to help. The tutors will be there to help you as well. Have a lovely evening and see you tomorrow. Of course, see you on WhatsApp as well. All right, bye for now.